Hi, welcome to 40 Fridays of Fundamental Science Experiments with Rohini. Dalton proposed that atoms are the smallest part of molecules and they cannot be subdivided. They cannot be divided into anything else. And they are the smallest particles of matter. But then J.J.Thompson came along and proved him otherwise. J.J.Thompson was working on cathode ray tubes. Cathode ray tubes have a cathode which is a negatively, which helps electricity to pass through. Cathode and anode are objects or devices which help electricity to pass through, and the negatively charged object or device is called the cathode, and the positively charged device is called the anode. And this cathode and anode he put in a glass tube, vacuum sealed glass tube. This is a vacuum sealed glass tube, and this is the cathode and the anode, and the whole setup is called a cathode ray tube. He was working on cathode ray tubes. He wanted to study the properties of cathode ray. So in this setup, he passed high voltage, and then the cathode released particles and they traveled beyond the anode and hit the end of the sealed tube. How did we identify that the particle traveled and hit the end? Here he coated it with phosphorus. Once these particles, after giving high voltage to the tube and allowing the particles to move across the tube and hit the end, here because there was phosphorus, the moment any particle from the cathode hit this, it glowed. So he wanted to study the properties of the cathode ray. He gave high voltage and then the cathode ray passed through the tube. To study the properties, he put two metal plates of opposite charges. If we consider the red one as the positive charge and the yellow one as the negative charge, and the cathode ray passing in between, the cathode ray moved away from the negatively charged metal plate and it bent, it deflected a little, and then it hit the phosphorus screen. I don't know if you can see it, but I have tried the deflection also. That was one point which allowed J.J.Thompson to say that cathode rays are negative, have negatively charged particles. And then he also placed two magnets, two oppositely poled magnets of opposite poles across the metal plates. And then again, he allowed the cathode ray to pass through, and the cathode ray again deflected itself towards the positively charged plate. Using this, J.J.Thompson said that cathode rays have negatively charged particles inside them. And then he also measured these particles and found that they were so small that they were almost 1/2000th of a hydrogen atom. This helped J.J.Thompson propose that it is a subatomic particle that is carried in the cathode ray. Now we know the negative particle carried in the cathode ray as electron. But this experiment helped J.J.Thompson propose that there exist subatomic particles and atom is not the smallest particle of matter. Thank you.